Hey, so my voice sounds a lot deeper right now, I think. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It sounds deeper in my head though, because I'm like kind of getting over some type of cold. My mom says I have allergies, but I will refuse to believe that. Um, so I pretty much wanted to talk about disclosure and coming out. As far as like my gender identity goes, I'm really good with coming out to people on the internet. Like, I'm very out on the internet. Like, it's something that like I can put in the information box, and if they don't like it, they don't have to follow my blog. It's very like cut and dry. Like, and I feel like, and that's probably why I have more friends on the internet, because I can be like, okay, these are things I feel about. If you don't feel this way about them, then we probably shouldn't talk. Or something to that degree. And I just with the real world, it's not really like that. You have to like dance around people and figure out if they're gonna like this or if they're gonna react badly, and I'm just not up for that. I'm really not up for explaining myself 50,000 times for them not to even understand it. Like, I'm just not. That sounds really mean of me, I guess, but it's just like like that's probably why I haven't come out to my parents. Like, I just don't want to explain myself. I just feel very annoyed that I have to one day explain myself. And I don't mind doing that in other aspects of my life. Like, I do not mind explaining why I'm irritable. Like, I'm a very logical person. I'm very, like, I ask a lot of questions about other people. I'm like, oh, I don't understand that. Can you explain that to me? But especially about my gender, I'm just like, dude, I really don't want to talk about this. Like, I don't know why. I don't know. And it's not, I mostly don't want to talk about it to people who I think won't understand, like my mom or my dad or whatever. I just don't want to deal with that. I don't want to, like, I don't feel like I'm secure enough in my body, or I'm not secure enough in, like, I don't think I'd be able to deal with people, like, being rude. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't be able to deal with it right now. I just wouldn't. Um, I mean, and like, I feel like disclosure right now about my how I feel about my gender would just make things more complicated. Like, I'm the very like good child, good child, and like I just don't feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, it would be a good idea to talk about something now before before I can actually do physical changes, like medically. Um, but and other times I'm like, well, and like also so they can like get used to it before I leave for college. But at the same time, it's like I would rather just wait. I feel like it's really selfish of me to be like, oh, I'm just gonna wait until I go to college. I feel really selfish, honestly, but I really don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with everything that disclosure will probably come to. I don't want to have to explain my gender 25 times for my mom not to even understand. I don't want someone following me around asking why or crying over something so petty. I feel it's really petty, honestly. Like, I just feel like everyone builds these expectations and attachments to what my body should be and how I should feel about my body, and how I should act, and how who I love and how I should act about with them. And I'm not interested in your issues. Like, I feel like that's really incompassionate of me. That's not a word. Uncompassionate of me, but I I'm not interested in your issues, your problems. And I feel like that's your problem, honestly. That's how I feel. I just, like, if you have a problem with how I feel about my gender, like, I understand, like, society teaches you what gender is and what sex is and everything, and those things line up. And I realize that people don't educate themselves about things that don't deal with themselves. Like, I know a lot of people do that. But that's your problem and not mine. So, I don't know. I'm kind of mean to people, I think. I'm not very accepting of other people's unacceptingness. I'm very like, okay, fuck it, see ya. But, um, with like some people, like, okay. When it comes to like my asexuality, the only people I'm ever gonna come out to are like my partners, um, and like if I come out because I'm trying to like explain something, like I'm trying to like share knowledge or something like that. But like this one guy who used to go to my high school, he's been like texting me and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not sure when I should like tell him anything. I'm pretty sure he has some kind of like weird crush on me. I'm not really sure. I don't really care, honestly. Um, but like I don't know if I should like tell him I'm trans before, because supposedly we're supposed to hang out. But I don't know, whatever. Like before, or if like I don't need to tell him, like it's not his business, blah blah blah. Because he's the kind of person that I feel like would tell other people, and I don't really want to deal with that either. Um, because that's just not very smart, honestly. And he also hangs out with like this one guy who was like a total ass to me. Like he was an asshole to me. And I think part of it had to do with the fact that like I liked girls because at the time I identified as lesbian, and also I was like, I'm fat, I'm chubby. I feel like that's why he didn't like me, honestly. Like that's why he was mean to me, because I wasn't attractive enough. So, like I wasn't attractive, so he didn't need to be nice to me. That's the kind of person he was, because I am a girl. And I like that really concerns me, quite honestly, because yeah, he's not a safe person. He's not safe. So that's conflicting, honestly, and I don't really know what to do about that. I'll probably just like stop texting him one day. um, and it's really weird because, like, as far as my asexuality goes, I'm more aesthetically attracted to males, and that might have something to do with my gender. I'm not really sure, but I'm more and more aesthetically attracted to males. Um, but the way that society says they should act and they can act, and the way that society says they can things they can say, I'm not attracted to that at all. So it's like really disheartening sometimes, because I'll be like really aesthetically attracted to someone, I'm like, oh man, they're really attractive or whatever, which is weird. That shouldn't really, and that's not really a basis for a relationship. But I'm just like, oh, they're attractive, and they like open their mouth, and I'm like, like I feel the reason why I'm mostly romantically attracted to women more is because like I don't know how to explain this. Like I've always tried to explain this and it never works out right, because most of the time women are like they they're they have not as much privilege as men. So I do kind of believe it's easier to be an asshole the more privilege you have. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it doesn't mean you're gonna be an asshole. There could be totally there's probably, actually I know there are awesome queer friendly feminist cis hetero men, white men out there. I'm sure there are. But the way society teaches you to act based on your gender is very different. Is very different. And that will determine how you act in some ways. Unless you like educate yourself, or you know what I mean? Like it's much easier to be a jackass. It's much easier to be an annoying, and like, okay, one instance. When was the last time you heard a cis woman catcalling? When? I think I did that a total of maybe one time, and it made me feel really embarrassed, honestly. Like, I was like with a friend, and she was like catcalling at this guy, and I was just like, um, yeah, like a preteen. But like, and honestly, like, I don't know, catcalling is a big deal, like a big thing of it, actually, because I get catcalled all the time. Like, one, it makes me feel really, really dysphoric because I know they wouldn't catcall at like a guy. And that makes me sound like a pretentious dick. I know it does, but yeah. It makes me feel really shitty because of that, but also because it's like, can I just walk my dog, man? Like, really? Stop yelling at me. Like, first of all, I don't even like when people come up to me, like they're trying to like holler at me or whatever. I'm just like, dude, get the fuck away from me. Like, I don't want to talk to you. But anyway, that's much more respectful than you yelling across the pond. Like, and and it's kind of acceptable for people to do that. And it's not okay. It's not funny. It's not anything. It actually makes me feel really unsafe, quite honestly. Um yeah, it's not okay. I don't even know. This video like changed like 4 subjects. But this is this video and I'm not recording another one because it's like 2:15. Oh dear god. I never sleep apparently. I like stay up for like, I don't even know. No, I sleep, but my schedule's all messed up. So, this video is a mixture of things, apparently. I don't know why I always do that. Maybe I should make like a little list next time. But yeah, whatever. I don't really think anybody watches these videos. So I'll probably just watch these in like a couple years and like laugh or something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna find a snack. Everything is like meat and cheese though in my house. I don't eat meat, first of all. And second of all, I'm trying to like become vegan and there's all this dairy everywhere and there's nothing for me to eat, quite honestly. So, it's gonna be pretty much impossible to become vegan at my mom's house, so I probably won't until I move out. So, that's all I have to say about this video, and I'll probably just go to sleep or something. It is 2:16 right now, and the person I'm romantically interested in has been asleep, and he always goes to sleep, and it's angering me. Always falls asleep. Gosh. I don't know if he'll see this, but if you do, if you see this, if I show this to you, you go to sleep all the time. I don't even know how you do it. Like, if you're tired, go off AIM, but you're always on AIM, so I'm like, oh, we can talk, and I'm like, do 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 do. Then you like go to sleep 10 minutes later. Actually, we talked more than before. Usually he's been sleeping a lot more. Anyways, that is all I have to talk about. And actually, I think this video had like 4 subjects. Okay, I'm just gonna go now, so goodbye.